Live your imagination, not your history. Welcome to McBain Moments. Alright guys, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the manor. Please make sure you take a moment and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. Live your imagination, not your history. Words by Covey. The point behind these words is, of course, that most of us are ruled by our pasts. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. And the reason why is because we build ourselves up based upon the things we did when we were younger. The benefit to that is we have all of that experience to work with when moving into new situations. You can go back into your file of things that you did in the past and say, oh, I've run into a situation like this before. So I can arrange things in such a way that they'll happen in a substantially similar fashion, or if it went bad, I can make it so it doesn't happen the same way again. That's like the good part about remembering your history. That prevents you from repeating bad history, something that we as a culture have a nasty habit of doing. On the other hand, it also prevents us from moving on from mistakes we made. See, all of us have been through the school of hard knocks in some way, shape, or form. And if you haven't yet, it's coming. And I'm not saying that to be mean or anything like that. We all make mistakes. We all have to make up for the mistakes we make. You can only avoid them for so long. You can only avoid responsibility for the mistakes you made for so long. But once you've taken responsibility for it, once you have corrected for the mistake, then it's time to let it go. I'm not saying to forget, because then you might make the mistake again. But it means it's time to stop feeling guilty about it. Yes, you made a mistake. Maybe you hurt some people. And you might have hurt them badly. They might have been close to you. They might have been family. Or it might have put you in financial trouble. You might still have to make up for that now. But if you are obsessed over the actions that created the mistake rather than the actions that corrected it and the things that prevent you from repeating it, all you're going to do is get into a loop. It's an endless cycle of I'm terrible and I can't do anything right, and just this garbage narrative that you'll roll around in your head. And plenty of people do it. I've done it. Everyone does it at some point in their lives. We all hit rock bottom at some point. It's not pretty, but it's a thing that happens. And I hate to say it, but it's an important experience, because if we don't hit rock bottom, we don't really know what the bad side of things looks like. Now, there are some people, I say we all hit there. There are people who never get that far down. But then the rock bottom for everyone is relative. And so it's all dependent upon our individual experiences, what we consider to be rock bottom. No matter how far down you get, there is always a place lower than where you are. That's a fact. So even when you think you've hit rock bottom, try to bounce back up. Because there ain't no bedrock in life, folks. This ain't like Minecraft. Or more accurately, there is a bedrock, but it's like doing it in creative where you can break it. There is a way to get underneath the world, and you don't want to be there. The benefit to hitting rock bottom is you can only go up from there. If you aren't at rock bottom now, if you have climbed your way back up, look back at what you did and be proud of the fact that you recovered from it. Be proud of the fact that you have made up for the mistakes you made that got you there in the first place. And don't feel guilty about it. It's like, okay, I made mistakes. I fixed the mistakes. It's time for me to move on. If you are at rock bottom, look at the things that got you there and stop doing them. Start to accumulate ways to build up from that point. Don't feel guilty about it. I mean, you're going to feel initial guilt, and you should. Once you have realized what caused you to get there, say, okay, I need to let this go and figure out how to start climbing again. How do I get back to where I'm looking to get to? Because what's the point of staying at rock bottom? So, what it takes to get there is imagination. Where do you imagine yourself being? Do you imagine yourself being at the place you were at the hardest time of your life? Or do you imagine being comfortable, nice home, car that doesn't break down? Maybe kids. Maybe no kids. No, maybe your imagination takes you adventuring across mountains. That's all up to you. The important thing is that you don't live in your history. You learn from your history. You accept your history, but you don't live in your history. Because living in your history doesn't do anybody any good, especially you. This has been a McBain moment.